I'm in the world.
Hey, visitor. You can get back to this.
It was only about a centimeter thick, so he was able to.
House. I'm checking it out.
Cave exploring gone wrong. Laverna cave disaster. What? Hold on. Oh my god. Yeah, because I want to. Good job, buddy. I've heard many people say on YouTube that the road to 1,000 subs is extremely hard. After you get after 1,000? Come
I
on.
think you have 167.
Okay. Yeah, because the algorithms are... I'm not trying to be like that Facebook loser.
I'm only at 90-ish.
Wait, you know, hold on, give me a second. YouTube, the Abbott Agency.
You're at 167 if I'm not wrong. 166 so far. That was wrong. Yeah, it's a thunderstorm outside, so. Out in Minecraft, so. Shut up about your caramel.
Alright.
Good when you get it right. And with the #1 power toothbrush brand recommended by dental professionals, Philips Sonicare makes it easy for you to always get brushing right.
Nice. I remember when I got 100 subs.
Hello, summer. Oh yeah,
I don't have an
Marcel Lubin was being hoisted out of the 1,100-foot deep shaft of Laverna Cave when something went horrifyingly wrong.
Oh, great.
This
I lit the
is
portal
his
and into
story.
the salt biome.
Wait. Something's wrong. Wait, there's no need for aluminum here.
How did you react when you hit 100?
It was more tame. Like, it just felt pretty great. Not too much ride, but you know, it feels great. Nom 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 nom. Alright, let's keep going.
Only my friends know that I do YouTube.
Yeah, it sucks being a small YouTuber not getting that many subs. I can personally say that. Anyway, cave exploring gone wrong. Laverna cave disaster. I've accidentally dug myself into a rabbit hole of just creepy but cool cave stories. If no one knows, secretly, I don't know if I've ever said this to my channel, I'm actually really interested in Earth science. I love the periodic table. Actually, if I let you take my TV, which I could just take my TV, which my camera's on top of my TV. There's my periodic table. My camera's on my TV. My TV's mounted to my wall, and it has this really cool mount. I love chemistry, and I'm gonna get into biology. In fact, I'm willingly taking biology at my school. Biology is gonna be kind of tough, in my opinion.
One stone pickaxe out. Now 20 more to go.
That's a broken wind turbine. Need a bigger shredder. Yeah, I'm gonna play this video.
Later.
Marcel
Yeah.
Lubin was being
Hold on.
hoisted out of the 1,100-foot deep shaft of Laverna Cave. This
I'm gonna
is
make
his
something
story.
out of boot plate.
Laverna
Yeah,
Cave.
boot plate.
Dude, caving is fun. So you get hurt.
As is the case with many of the explorers of the deep, Marcel Lubin fell in love with caving at a young age. Born on June 30th, 1923.
Oh my god, the guy has my birthday! June 30th!
Norbert Castoret by the age of 13. This
Man, not
was
too often.
1940, and he would eventually go on numerous expeditions alongside Norbert, who would become a mentor to Marcel. In 1943, while on an expedition, Marcel was seriously injured by a falling boulder while assisting a fallen teammate. The incident gave him a fractured shoulder and several broken ribs, and it would take 13 hours to rescue him from the cave. Undeterred by this event, Marcel would go on to undertake increasingly grand and daring projects. During the mid-20th century, Marcel would lead a number of expeditions in the Pyrenees Mountains, which are famous for their expansive cave systems. These systems have been referred to as the Himalayas of the caving world for their massive size. In 1951, Marcel made his first expedition to Laverna
didn't we
Cave
just watch a
system,
video
to
on
a
these?
section known as the Pierre Saint Martin Chasm. Discovered just a year prior, the chasm was thought to be an entry point to what was then thought to be the deepest cave system in the entire world. The chasm itself is a shaft of smooth limestone that descends 1,100 feet into the mountain before opening up into a series of large chambers. There's also an underground river that runs the entire length of the system and snakes its way through the passages. This river became the focus of the speleological world upon its discovery for its potential to shed light on some of the connected cave systems in the Pyrenees Mountains. And so, 29-year-old Marcel Lubin set off on another expedition to Laverna Cave to continue the work that he had started the year prior. The expedition started in a nearby French village and then traveled up to the entrance of the cave system at an altitude of 5,700 feet. That year, a winch system was devised and cemented to the opening of the chasm to speed up the descent down the 1,100-foot shaft. Marcel was actually the first person to use that system, and in August of that year, he clipped his harness to the winch hook and then backed himself over the ledge into the 1,100-foot abyss below. The men who would be joining him in the cave for this expedition were volcanologist Herman Tizia, physicist Jack Liberty, and Giuseppe, also known as Beppo or...
I got good news for you, buddy, because in a few weeks I am planning on possibly starting an Ark playthrough. 1 out of 10 rating myself.
Oh yeah.
0 to being absolutely dog shit to 10 being a god. I'm probably like a 5 or a 6. I'm okay, but don't be sad. Ooh, garbage. I don't really use this, so it's really great just to go run it through a scrapping machine. Mobile Ark.
I'm gonna go make a. Alright, so I'm gonna go make a base on the island now.
I'm already. I'll do that later. Okay.
Okay. Do you recommend
Oh!
upgrading the old base?
Yeah, upgrade to old base. I have that little chamber dig out. Oh my god, let's go! A generator, and there's carbon with it too.
It's pretty good, but I won't be able to do console till December.
Oh, just wait. I will say, you're gonna have to wait for Ark to download, because Ark takes a stupid long time. It's actually really yeah. It's actually really good that we found this little guy down here. This is a medium generator. They're kind of a little bit annoying to upkeep, but when you do upkeep them, they won't power your entire base unless it's small. Yeah, Ark 2 should be next year, actually. I used to play with a friend who was an Ark god. Like, he was literally the biggest nerd ever. He was amazing.
I'm gonna add a new. I'm gonna try to move up to the top of the mountain.
Ooh, it's a bar. It's a battery powered. Okay. How you do this? First of all, get the big guard. Boom, boom, boom. I can't really shred this, but I might as well take it along.
I also will have Xbox Ultimate so I can get most DLC. Hopefully I can get Genesis.
I don't have DLCs. Exploring space caves in Astroneer, or just, exploring caves in Astroneer can be a very dangerous thing if you don't have oxygen equipment. Because we get stuck without area. Because remember, see that little blue bar? If that goes to this, I die. Though I have to be near this. Well, actually, recently, it came out that you can actually achieve ultimate freedom. I'm lazy.
Grace, I'm adding a new layer.
I am.
Nice.
Bellini, who was also a physicist,
I actually have 2 extended tanks, so my oxygen supply is tripled.
cave along with some equipment to set up their camp. They chose a decently sized 16-foot by 16-foot outcropping that was one of the only flat sections of the cave.
Is that like a shaft?
They spent almost the entire day waiting for phone contact with the surface to coordinate the ascent and descent of a bunch of equipment that they would need for their exploration of the cave. Following the
That's the cave. Oh my god.
were also lowered into the cave to join.
Wait, is it? Is it deeper than the Eiffel Tower?
To 7 p.m. prospecting a massive wall in the open room of the cave. Despite their efforts, they weren't able to find any new shafts or passageways that might lead down to lower levels. They tried following the river, which was little more than a stream at this point in the year, all the way to where it threaded its way through the boulders at the end of the open room. But the stream squeezed down to a point, making it impossible to survey any further due to its size. At around 7 p.m., just before they had to head back to camp for that evening, they stumbled on a small entrance to a well. They dropped stones into the opening and they heard a bounce. Then a few seconds of silence.
No.
Bouncing once again. This indicated a potentially promising
No, not really.
as of yet unexplored passage. Despite this new development, the
Done.
atmosphere in the group
I need
was
more.
pessimistic. It had already and slipped into their damp clothing. They then made their way back to the room they had spent the day prior. 3 of the men carried over 100 pounds of fluorescein between them, and Haroon carried about 40 pounds of camera equipment. Their goal was to dump all of the fluorescein in the stream that ran through the cave in hopes of determining where it reappeared on the surface. The fluorescein they were carrying is a deep red powder that turns into an emerald color when it's mixed with water. It colors the water so intensely that even when it's extremely diluted, it's still discernible, making it perfect for following the flow of water over long distances. Sometime later in the afternoon, Beppo noticed another break in one of the walls of the cave. Upon following it
Oh my god, speaking of like reactive chemicals, has anybody ever heard of a chemical known as luminol? It's actually a very cool chemical. Luminol is Luminol can, well, when it's
The weirdest thing that has happened on the internet too.
Actually, a comment in my stream is like it had a link said, hot dog like sexygirls.com, and then I translated it from like Spanish, or no, it was Japanese. I'm a dumbass. Anyway, it said, well, after 10,000 people were watching it last night, 5 people at most were watching actually. After all, carrots are the best. You know, stories told of like weak-willed people and strong people. And I'm not making that up. That's literally what it said. I have the entire thing recorded. Like, I don't even know what the hell they were talking about. I don't know if they were having like a weed trip or anything, but it was weird.
water, indicating that there might be another way to traverse deeper into the cave. The group
It is sus.
headway, and they were tempted to follow the passageway to the end, but they were also tired and it was getting late in the day. So they decided it would be best.
Don't leave this behind. This is expensive. This is the strongest material ever known to man.
This new development.
Graphene. It's cheap as hell, light as hell, hard as hell to make, and it's extremely strong. It is 200 times stronger than steel, and
You know what happened to me?
no, probably don't want to, but go ahead. Oh, oxygen filters. Get out of here. Nope. Wait, is that a? Oh, it's broken. Which one? Wait, what? How is it? Oh, okay. I see this plug. One plug works. That's it. Nothing else.
It was supposed to be Marcel's last day in the cave. Although he was excited to continue, the following morning he was going to be replaced by another member of the team. On day 5,
Alright.
the men woke up at 8 a.m., except for Beppo, who had spent the last 7 months.
I clicked it.
Oh shit. And that's how. And you got infected, probably. God, you do not click random links. That's how you get your device infected with like some sort of evil malicious
what?
virus.
And
Well.
sent me to a dating.
Oh no. Oh no. We all know where this. This is not gonna end well.
Does one of your viewers have a virus or something?
No. They're just telling a story of what happened to this weird experience on the internet. Dude, I hate that. And then it's got some stupid ass like virus attached to it, and your computer gets like its CPU just goes. Dude, that clicking on a random link on the website is like putting one bullet, putting a bullet into a revolver, spinning it, and pointing the trigger when you're pointing at your face, because it's like there's a slight chance you're gonna get effed up in the meantime. Meet my collection of wind turbines, large, babies, and then medium. Like so many wind turbines. Oh my god. I have one more scrap. I didn't need to gather that, but you know what? It's okay. Okay, do that. And I'm gonna get wolframite. Just because I'm all lazy to go to other planets. I'm gonna keep playing the video.
Behind the Alps for his research on cosmic rays, and so the other men let him rest. The other 3 climbed up to the small platform where the winch cable was firmly anchored, and the men helped him into his waterproof suit and his pilot's helmet with integrated earphones to radio the surface. He clipped on his harness, checked the rest of his equipment, and then radied up to the surface to let them know he was ready to ascend. The cable then started to pull, and Marcel was lifted slowly along the wall of the room, with his equipment in tow towards the distant skylight 1,100 feet above him. The way that the cable was strung out and the way that the room was shaped meant that he didn't ascend perfectly vertically at first. He sort of went up on an angle. This meant that the men were able to climb slowly with him along the boulders at the start of the ascent. They talked to him as he ascended and made sure to remind him of the supplies they needed. Marcel would say okay, and then all of a sudden the cable came to a stop. He called up to the surface and they told him that they were just checking the winch and that it would take about 5 minutes to start again. Shortly after that, the cable started to pull again. Cave. In his left hand, he held a magnesium torch that he was going to light once he was a few meters off the ground so that Haroun could film his ascent all the way up the chasm. Finally, Marcel left the ground and his dark silhouette rose slowly up the shaft. The only thing visible now was the small lamp on his chest. At about 30 feet up, Marcel yelled stop and the cable stopped. He then lit a match and tried to light the torch, but the match went out. He then lit another, and then called out to the others that between the water and the draft in the shaft, that he wouldn't be able to light the torch. All the while, Haroun had his camera pointed at Marcel, expecting any second to see the bright magnesium flare light up. Then, all of a sudden, Marcel let out a short cry. In the silence in the seconds after, Haroun saw the little light on Marcel's chest drop rapidly from where it had stopped a second ago. A second later, there was a horrible crash.
Me randomly. I was on my iPad, very slow crashes on Plants vs. Zombies 2, and clicked on page 0 and website.
And your device is infected. See you later, alligator. Yeah, your device is basically just effed at that point. Once you click on any quote-unquote adult site, that's when you get infected.
It said hackers are watching.
Yeah, I got this one thing that said your device has a virus on it, and it like you need to act urgently, and then it had this obviously fake like apple thing. It's funny.
So I worked on a third floor. Let's be
Marcel
on it.
bounced along the boulders that he had just risked for